Hello everyone, and welcome to Scarytown, the Goosebumps review show. Today we're going to be reviewing The Night of the Giant Everything. So The Night of the Giant Everything is about Steven and how, by some whatever means, he's not exactly sure, he is tiny. He has been shrunk. And he has to find a way to figure out how this happened to him and how to get around in this new giant world. So just kind of get a quick rundown of what happens is essentially Steven is a bit of a jerk. He practices magic, like magic tricks and such, and he's actually really good. Except the problem is he's just mean to like his friends and everyone else's plays tricks on them and such, and they get really upset at him, and they are obviously going to plot their revenge, and that plays into this big production he has on the school stage where he's performing his magic tricks and such, and he's supposed to drink water out of a paper cup, or maybe a styrofoam cup, I can't remember, and he's gonna be juggling while he's drinking the water, just to just to wow everyone. But apparently they put something, they spiked his drink with some kind of chemicals or whatever, and he chokes on it, and then everyone laughs, and that's pretty much their prank to get back at him. And even before this, he went to have his piano lessons at this kind of creepy guy house and such, and it just definitely reminds me of the piano lessons can be murder. It definitely gives me that kind of feel of that. And the guy gives him one of those giant cookies, like I don't know if the malls nowadays have these, but they used to be like these shops where they just specialize in these giant cookie cakes, and it kind of reminds me of that. And the guy like just watching it intently, like as he eating every single bite, and then Steven tries to go use the restroom but gets lost because he doesn't know his way around the place, and he accidentally gets into this big room that has all these dollhouses with these little people in it, and it's like, and then his teacher comes in and gets really mad at him for like finding it or whatever. So it kind of gives you these options. It's like, okay, that guy was really creepy, giving him like these giant cookies, and he's watching him eat it. So you're thinking like maybe something is there. And then his friends played that trick on him with the spiked water. So you're thinking like maybe there's something there as well. But then I won't spoil the ending, because the ending actually kind of caught me on surprise. I don't know how Arstein keeps doing this, where there's a lot of times when I'm reviewing the books where I'm reading it and I don't see the twist coming. I mean, like, I know there's a twist, but like the reveal of it is like, oh, I thought it was this thing, but it's something else completely out of left field. And this is definitely the case for that. So I will say that at first I didn't like Steven, because like I said, he's an awful human being. For like about a third of the book. You start feeling bad for him though once he it is shrunk down and such, and he has to deal with moving around and like finding clothes and then finding off all these different animals and stuff that we would like take for granted because we're like so much larger than them. But like once we are comparable, we're like, you know, like about the same size. Or he faces like this worm and this giant bird and this spider. Spider's on the cover. And it's just like it changes your perspective on everything, and you kind of feel bad for him because you know he kind of deserves this, but like this is a little too extreme. So that is cool. I enjoyed some of his tricks and stuff and some of his jokes, and it's pretty good. So that's pretty much all the good stuff. I won't spoil the ending, but the twist is really, I enjoyed it, and it is great. So we'll move on to what I didn't like. So, what didn't I like about this book? Just kind of like an overall feeling like there's not like a whole lot here that really hasn't been done before. Even like the premise of a kid being shrunk down and having to deal with being like small and there's everything that's trying to kill him and stuff. That's already been done in one of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books, Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. It's one of the choices you can make. You can, if you eat the peanut butter, then you shrink down, and it kind of, I think it has a little bit more fun with the idea of being shrunk down and all that a lot better. Even like kind of like a similar story where somebody goes through this transformation. The Why I Hate Bees is a lot better too, and those are just better stories even than this, which is kind of it's kind of by the numbers really. It's the only thing that really stands out for me is the twist, which is basically the reason why he is shrunk down, and it is not the one that I thought it was going to be. So I think that really saved it for me, because everything else is just kind of not that scary, as far as like he has to escape from a spider and he has to fend off against this giant hawk, and it is not very compelling to me. And like I said before, it's not a character that I really care too much about, because in the beginning of the story, he's a bit of a jerk. So I didn't really empathize with the character so much. So I didn't really care too much whether or not he got hurt or not. So there was that. So really, the only thing that kind of compelled me for is just the mystery of how he got shrunk down. So that's about it. So my closing thoughts. I guess I would recommend this book. The things I don't like about it don't really take away from just the general fun of the book, like being shrunk down and stuff, and the shenanigans and all that. I mean, it's an okay Goosebumps book. It's very middle of the road. It doesn't do anything that really stands out too much other than the twist, but then you're gonna have to read the whole entire book to actually get to that reveal, and I'm not even sure if it was really worth reading the whole thing. Like, if you're, I guess if there's no other Goosebumps book you're really interested in reading at the moment, then it's worth checking out. But it's not something I would really waste too much time reading, honestly. The premise is pretty good, but they don't really, Arlstein doesn't really do too much with it here. So my recommendation would be to read Beware the Purple Peanut Butter or I Hate Bees, and I read those over this one any day. So basically, yeah. So yeah, So I guess that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.